Okay, welcome to our very first Google Live update from Eiffel International. And my name is Heba Day. I'm the founder and CEO of Eiffel International. And today we've decided to talk about the December core update with you. Yes, Google gave us a Google core update on December 11th, and they decided to run the course of 3 weeks to give us a bit of a Christmas present. So today I am actually going to be giving you some tips, some observations as to what I'm actually seeing happen. A lot of you would have been getting a lot of emails from Google. You probably don't see them. I see them as they come in real time. But first things first, have you connected your websites with Google Search Console? Um, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you probably haven't, or maybe your SEO person has actually done it for you. So Google Search Console is the place where you track traffic, you track notices from Google as to whether you're in step with all their compliance needs for SEO. And as you all know, it's gone to AI, SEO, AEO, GEO, LLMO. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And I actually just wrote a blog over the weekend explaining the differences between SEO, traditional SEO, AEO, GEO, and LLMO. If you're interested, go to my website, iffelinternational.com. That's IFFEL international.com. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to really share with you is that um, there there are a lot of inconsistencies with the results that I'm seeing on Google Search Console. First of all, there's a real delay in the reporting. They're about 3 days behind, so panicking about anything is probably not a very good idea. And some typical errors that seem to be flagged, but they're not really errors because once I get them, I go in and take a look at it. It's more like a false negative. It could be things like excluded no index tag, not found, which is a 404 error. Some of it's 403, so I don't know why it would say 403, but a lot of it's 404. Pages with redirects are also some common themes that I'm seeing right now. And they're also, based on the Google system, it comes across as discovered but currently not indexed. So if there are pages that it cannot read, that's what it's actually saying to us in the reports. And there's another one that's called crawl. So the bots have actually crawled the website, but it's registering it as currently not indexed. But when I go deep into the testing, they're all false. So I don't know what's going on with this core update, other than if you've got GA4, which is Google Analytics 4, which gives you more real-time information. There are discrepancies between GA4 and GSC as well, but the trick now is not to pay attention to these reporting lines. I'm not saying ignore it, but it's not really. Yes, that was my dog, Jasmine. I can't. I think someone's at the door, but I'm not going to go get him. But this is live from Anaheim Hills in California. I'm reporting in on the Google Core update. Our first live streaming from Eiffel International, and I wanted to bring this news to you. So GA4 and GSC, there are lots of discrepancies, but I can tell you two of the most serious penalties that I've seen so far. Is that if you have not paid attention to the quality of content on your website, then you will get penalized. All right. So what do I mean by this? If you've copied and had duplication of content from another site and put it on your site, especially e-commerce. If your product listings are a verbatim copy from your vendor websites, then you would have seen some penalties there. What would have been very high impressions and clicks would have dropped off fairly quickly over the last few weeks. Um, and so today I want to spend some time on to how to repair this. If you even non-e-commerce sites that have been penalized because of thin content, what does thin content mean and how do you repair it is what I'm going to be focusing on right now. You have a couple more weeks till the core update is over. So here are some tips. The first one is what's thin content? You probably think to me, you probably think in your head, what is she talking about? AI now is not about keywords, right? So it's not about the lawyer near me or the best lawyer in town or the best doctor in town or the best marketer in town. So we're really looking at depth to what it is that you do because AI is now answering those questions at great depth. It's also providing a lot of information to the user. And so there is no need to write about, for example, for marketing, what is SEO? Um, that's a very basic question that you should know and you should have on your site, but based on your applied science as to what SEO is all about. Okay. So thin content means that you've got to go, that means you haven't really provided anything worthy for the AI to really catch on to say that there's something extra here for you that that may be of interest and you don't get presented. So the worst thing you can do is actually go on AI and copy and paste directly from AI without prompt engineering depth to the topic, the pillars that you want to talk about. So I'll give you another example. How to write for social media and blogs and to come up with creative that AI really loves. So if you're going to write about that and just say you've got to write good content, well, that's very, very thin, right? So we want to go into the depths of it. So for example, Google talks about how all content has to follow the rules or the formula of EEAT, which is EAT. Double EAT is another way of remembering this. And it stands for expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So you you know, and if you've read about this and you say, yeah, you've got to follow EAT, but you don't explain EAT, then this is not giving it enough depth to the topic area. So the first E, and I'm going to give you an example of how I would do it. The first E is experience. So if you are an attorney, so for example, if you're a personal injury attorney and you have the experience that you want to bring to the table, then talk about the number of years that you've been in business, what kind of cases that you've actually tackled and won, and how you won them. Like what was some of the benefits that you brought to the table that now oozes that experience from your would you want to say hello to everyone, Daniel?
Hello.
This is my son, Daniel. He's also an influencer on YouTube.
What? No, I'm not.
I'm live, Daniel. I'm live.
Bye.
Um, he wants to be an influencer, I think. So that was him debuting himself here. So EEAT experience. Let's go back to that. There are attorneys and there are attorneys with experience. All right. So what is the proof and the validation that makes you say that you've got the 10 years or the 20 years or the 2 years for that matter? You could have done so much in 2 years. And for example, if you've maybe tackled the first driverless car accident, right? What did you do? What did you do different? How did you win them $2 million in settlement? Show the proof. The proof is in the pudding. So people want to see that. AI wants to see that. So the handshake between Team AI and Team Human is absolutely critical. So your experience and the journey and the breadcrumbing of how you grew your business is another thing too. If you've got staff on your team that have experiences in dealing with insurance, for example, now show that off, because there's a lot of attorneys that are one man bands and they don't know how to deal with insurance companies. So what is it that validates you to be different from your competition? So that's an example of the kinds of depth of content that you want to give for experience. Expertise. So I am a marketer, um, and there are a lot of people who say that they can do marketing. So what is truly my expertise? Now, now stories tell a million words and a million scenarios. And so my story began when I studied marketing, but my expertise was developed because I was an intern for a high tech manufacturing company in New Zealand. And I got to write ISO 9001 manuals and really fell in love with the engineering team. Um, and and got to make my first sale as an intern because I have a love for people and I connect the dots between problem and solution. Now that's one part of my expertise, but the second part of my expertise is that I am a geek and I'm able to understand algorithms. I love AI. I love Google. I love everything about bots. And so I've connected the dots now between what humans really like and what AI loves. And so by default, I'm almost like a AI translator, and I communicate with bots. I know it sounds really weird, but I'm able to translate whatever humans want me to translate to AI, and then vice versa between AI and Team Human. And I've been doing this for come April 1, 2026, we will be celebrating our 20th year in business. So that gives us both the depth here, and people want to say I've got thin content. Well, they can't, because I am giving you testimonials online as well on all the cases that we've done, from developing websites to our proprietary process SEO to sales, and how we've actually created success in growth with companies, right? So that's EE, and now I'm going to address AT. So A is authoritativeness, authority. So how do you build authority? This is where I love AI, because I think it's a game changer and it's an equalizer. So the trick now is to actually have validation on why people are actually truly believing in what you're doing based on your experience and expertise. So it's not just you saying things, it's validation from external third parties. So one way of doing this is through testimonials. So if in this core update, if you don't have testimonials proving a point that you are who you say you are, then you're not going to get cited, and you will be penalized, because they don't want to Google doesn't want to highlight answers from or recommend brands that do not have endorsements in testimonials. Now, testimonials can be in the form of Google reviews on your Google My Business. That's a great data structure. I tell you what data structures and schema make great testimonials. This is, for example, Trustpilot. And no, they haven't paid me to say this. I've actually really worked hard to understand Trustpilot, and I really like it. The validation there is great. They validate not only the business that you are, but the people who are giving you reviews, and they are a hardcore place where they vet testimonials and they will penalize and reject reviews that are not worthy to be on Trustpilot. So the schema on Trustpilot is very well structured. If you get a chance to go on trustpilot.com, make sure you do set your business up there and start getting testimonials on there. I highly recommend this for service-based businesses, especially if you don't have a strong website with the right schema. to use Trustpilot as a third-party validation as well. The second way to do this, and I highly recommend it, is digital PR. A lot of you slacked off on digital PR because traditional SEO was about gaming the system and you could get away with it. In fact, in the blog that I recently wrote over the weekend, I talk about the importance of digital PR, especially for large language model optimization, because it's not about you talking about whatever it is that you're good at. For example, we've reached mobile first at Iffel International, and we've proven a fact that we can build websites that load on mobile first in under 2.5 seconds. Now, it's all great that we can talk about it, but we did a media release, and other editors have actually validated that yes, they're telling the truth, and they've published us on, like, for example, KTLA5, which is a very popular news channel here in Los Angeles, along with a lot of hundreds of other editors have endorsed us, including Martech, the Martech series. So digital PR, if you don't know how to begin with that, we've got a great department that does digital PR. We write journalist ready or editorial that is not biased. We bring your brand to editors. They endorse it, they publish it. Now, this is a great way to get that endorsement and authoritativeness, which ultimately all of this, the E and A, builds trustworthiness, and AI SEO is all about trustworthiness. So it's about building your brands. Yay, we're going back to branding, and branding is all about building trust with AI, and AI is your customer now. So if you don't actually pay attention to these little stitchings of I'm going to call it AI SEO or AEO or GEO or LLMO, then you will be penalized in this core update. And if you need help repairing all of this, and you've seen a drop in leads, a drop in the kinds of leads that you're actually getting as well, it means that you've lost visibility. You can build it back over the next 3 months. But if you don't adhere to EEAT and some of the technical compliance needs, I'm not going to go into great depth on that. You'll have to check for schema. You have to check for JSON scripts. But all of that we can discuss with you separately if you do need some help with repair work. Outside of that, I don't think that many of you would have seen damaging results. But certainly, if you see major dips going down, then I would start panicking if I were you. If you've seen major hikes, and I've seen that with some of our cases, especially the new ones that we've taken over, and we saw spikes going up. That's a real win, which means that the content is now re-engineered to meet EEAT specs. Yeah, if you are stuck, my team and I are really good at repairing all of this and making sure that you're back on track before the next Google Core update. But you don't have to wait for the core update to get the repair acknowledged. We will submit it to Google Search Console, and so you'll be on your way by February or March, right? So the trick now is to be aware of it. So step number one, here's what you need to do is make sure that your website is compliant with mobile first. Number two, make sure your website connects with Google Search Console and Google Analytics, because there are discrepancies between both reports. And what I do is I track both. I also check the real-time analytics on Google Analytics, GA4. And then if you are able to look at SEMrush or Ubersuggest or any of these kinds of analytical tools, use them hand in hand but Google Search Console is your main dashboard. Again, I told you earlier that there are about 3 days delayed right now with the data. So waiting, watching it is like watching paint dry. So don't spend that time doing that. Wait for a week or so and then go back and take a look at it. If you don't see major spikes up or down, then you should be good. Well, if you see spikes up, that's great. But if you see spikes down, you need to fix it right away. Yeah. So once again, if some of the errors that are common that you might get, but I don't want you to panic. Excluded by no index tag, not found, 404 errors, page with redirects, discovered but currently not indexed, crawled but currently not indexed. These are very common errors that will be reported in. Yeah, unless you're seeing spikes seriously going down, don't panic about it. But yeah, get EEAT with your content. Thin content is out. You got to have a lot of depth to what it is that you do. Now, if you don't know how to build pillars of content, my team and I can help you. All you have to do is message us here, IffelInternational.com, and we'll be ready to help you. If you've got any questions, I'll be here for another minute. If not, we will end this live stream right now. Any questions? Okay, I don't see any questions here, so I'm going to bid you farewell. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you back here just before the new year with another follow-up in the final weeks of this core update. See you soon. Bye.